Hi everybody, welcome back to the Gallagher Shots YouTube channel, and we are here for your prediction for the Man U game. I'm joined by Mr. Stephen Best as always. How you doing, mate? You good?
Not too bad at all, mate. Yeah, champion. Thanks. Just had me Friday rush to Morrison's and back to get my weekend beers in.
Get your alcohol in.
Aye, me carrier bag split in the car park. Was had to kind of juggle them back in the car, like, but I made it.
What did you go for, mate?
Without sounding like too much of an advert for Morrison's, like I like to do like 3 big bottles of lager for £5.
All right, okay.
So I've got I get 2 Moretti, 2 Heineken, and 2 a Warsteiner and something else I forget.
All right, so you're pushing the boat out this weekend then, mate.
10 quid. Mate, I get 6 bottles a weekend. That's it. That's what I allow myself. And because it's a special night we're doing the podcast, I've got a tin as well.
Oh, lovely, mate. I'm off the alcohol. I'm off the alcohol for this week, so I haven't really touched anything. Right. So yeah, I've had a couple of glasses of rum, so I'm not really off the alcohol.
That's not off the alcohol at all. I'm not very much on the alcohol. It's replacing beer with rum.
Yeah, I'm slowly turning into a pirate, man. Look at this.
Mate, there's nothing slow about that progress, like. It's in talking Johnny Depp.
Let's crack on with the game. So, to be honest with you, mate, it's been a couple of weeks since we've seen any football from Newcastle United point of view. A lot of the lads were on international break. So a couple of decent performances. Fraser had a great performance. Got man of the match, and he scored a goal in one of them. Fabian Schär, not so much. Great performance. Lost his head like he normally does.
Yeah. It was a very Fabian Schär red card as well. It was just 2 really daft yellows.
How many times has Decker said on our podcast, on the Over Smiling Faces podcast, that he's got that in him, and that's why he's always a worry on the pitch. And it happens now and again. I would say every 1 in 10 games.
You get it a couple of times a season, don't you? Like,
yeah, easy, mate. But yeah, we're on international duty. A lot of the lads play for Ireland. Scared with Lewis, but looks like he was training over the last couple of days, so it looks like it's going to be fine. But I think the big news, mate, is the Man United squad. So obviously Cavani, he can't play. He's got to self-isolate. There's news about Fernandes not being able to play, but I think that's been released that he's allowed to now.
I think so, yeah. I think he's available now again, yeah.
Apparently he might have called COVID off Ronaldo. But there was a few, mate. Maguire, I think that's a major talk about that we need to talk about on this one.
Aye.
Hasn't had the best of a few weeks.
He's had a rotten time, hasn't he? He's had a rotten time. I thought, obviously had extra time on earlier on there, and I'm with Tom, mate. Like Thomas, I wouldn't say I really feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
But I think he's having a bit of a rough patch at the minute, and it was commented on during the England game, the Denmark game, on whenever that was Wednesday, saying like he's just, it's one thing after this thing and making us and kind of come back. His form's being hit, and he's never really the £80 million transfer fee that Man United paid for him. That's being used against him every game that I can think of, every step of the way. I think it's from a Newcastle fan's point of view, and again, I think it was Matty said this yesterday. Sorry, on extra time as well. You really hope that he's heads up his arse.
Yeah, tomorrow. Of course, mate. We as fans of the opposition team, we want him to be starting that game.
Definitely.
Especially on the back of Saint signing that new contract, mate. And I think Bruce's comments over the last couple of days, might be today, mate, in his conference, saying that he's sky high, Saint, absolutely going wild in training and pulling out tricks that even Bruce hasn't seen before, Saint doing training. So you want Maguire, especially like you said, mate, if his head is up his arse, you need him on the pitch, especially, like I said, you flip it around. We've got a player in Saint who's on cloud 9 at the moment. Yeah,
you'd like to think. Saint, you think how good he's been anyway this season. At times, against Burnley was superb. And against Burnley, it's something that I know I've criticised him for in the past quietly. Is his end product and ball in the box, and I thought that pass for Wilson's first, the one Wilson got where he's kind of at the back post was just perfect.
Yeah,
just along the edge of the 6-yard box, right where centre forward wants it. Like so, if he can keep that kind of form up and he can get at Man United, who defensively are a little bit shaky, even away from Maguire. Well, we're not getting predictions just yet, but it could be promising.
Yeah, it's one of those games, mate. Without going too much into the likes of starting 11, because Matty's got a video coming out at some point over the next 24 hours to look at the starting 11. So Just to touch on a couple of things there. Formation wise, we've seen a 4-4-2. I think that the last couple of games. And so starting with your two top men. Obviously, Wilson's going to be in there. Are you hoping to see Joe in there because he's had some decent performances the last couple of games?
He hasn't done badly at all, has he? I mean, we've kind of said since day one with Joe Linton that if you take the responsibility for scoring goals off him, you'll see a different player, someone who isn't kind of weighed down by that burden. And Wilson's got 4 and 4 starts. Fraser's has got one in the cup. We're not necessarily, or we don't look at early in the season yet. We don't look as reliant on Joe Linton as I think would Fierro might be. So Joe Linton, I really want to see Almiron playing. I'd love to see Almiron, St. Maximin, and Fraser playing off Wilson because I think will cause any team in the country problems.
Yeah, Almiron, who nearly got his head taken clean off on international duty.
That was rotten, mad.
How was that not a red card?
Outrageous, wasn't it?
It was literally just an elbow smash. The player stopped and just elbows him in the face.
It was a bit like that. Was it Ben Thatcher and Pedro Mendes years and years ago?
You're going back there, mate.
I know, great. I was going to say recently. It's probably about 2004. But I think it was Man City and Portsmouth, and Thatcher goes in on Mendes, and it's basically like a 4-on.
Yeah, it's just a smash, isn't it?
He took his jaw off. It's outrageous. That
it was crazy, mate. But I think it's right. I think we've mentioned a couple of times there, and how Almiron has not been starting, but it's a tough one because Almiron, he brings so much energy to that team. But it's one of those things, mate, where Joe's had a couple of decent games. So would it be harsh dropping him? I don't really know, mate.
I think off the back of the Burnley game, it would be harsh to drop him. For all Fraser won the penalty in that one as well. I don't think it's one of those ones where you kind of think, well, Steve Bruce has in the past, certainly since he's come to Newcastle, stuck with players that have been in form instead of picking like names or picking people on reputation. And I mean, if he plays Joe Linton, he's not playing on reputation as he's playing on the fact that he thinks he's playing well at the minute. So I think it seems likely that he would start with him. But there again, when you look at Fraser having a good week for Scotland, scored the goal against the Czechs this week, got man of the match, one game, played in the game against Israel where they qualified for the qualifier for the European Championship. So he's getting more football, is Fraser, and something that we've kind of said is I wonder if he's not playing because he's had this time out of football, hasn't had a good pre-season. So I mean, it's nice to have that little kind of bit of a headache where you think, well, I mean, Fraser's probably more likely to oust Hendrick than Joe Linton, but he can play through that central role and support the main man as well. And him and Wilson obviously work very well together. They were born with a couple of seasons ago, so it's exciting almost to think what we could be watching or what we could be watching a meal talk about tomorrow night.
Yeah,
I don't suppose there'll be too many watching it. I'll not be.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if I'll be tuning in, mate. If I am, it's going to be on one of those dodgy streams. Let's say that. But we're not endorsing those. We're not endorsing those on this channel. Of course not. Definitely not. No. But yeah, score predictions, mate. If we're going to put anything on this, I think you mentioned before that it's we could be on the brink of something great against Manchester United, but at the same time, you could be on an absolute hiding. It's one of those things with both teams, mate. You don't know which team's going to turn up.
You really don't. Newcastle being so up and down. A good game against Burnley, a good game against West Ham away, and then absolutely shocking in the cup matches. Two of the cup matches, awful against Brighton in the league. You just don't know. Man United as well. Man, they got beat. Was it 6-1, 7-2?
Yeah, off Spurs.
Off Spurs, just before the break there. So, like in the past, going back to when Ferguson was Man United manager, if Man U got beat, I mean, I don't think ever got beat 6-1, but if it got beat, you think, right, we're going to get a reaction here.
Get a hiding afterwards.
But now, they seem to have a bit of a soft centre. I think get at them, frighten them, give St. Maximin the ball, let him dribble past everyone, and see what happens. I don't think there's anything to be gained from sitting back and trying to soak up pressure. So get at them. They're going to get a penalty at some point. So
put a score. Of course not, mate. Of course not. Yeah. But if you put a score on it, what are you going to go for?
Throw a dart in the list. Anything from a 3-0 defeat to a 3-0 win. Anything.
My prediction was going to be 3-2, mate. So we're in the same ballpark. 3-2 in Newcastle.
I'm going to say 2-1 to Newcastle. So we're going for the
both wins.
Spread. Aye.
All right, we'll take it, mate. But yeah,
it's probably a bad sign that we've said that.
As always, mate. As always. But yeah, thanks for joining us, mate. And for those who don't know, obviously Emil is doing his live watch along tomorrow. So he's going to be commentating alongside a Man United fan. So it's going to be raising money for, like, you know, one's hands just touching me on there. People just thought it's like kids on there.
I don't know why, but I thought that was Emil for a second.
Right, Emil. Yeah, so Emil is doing a live watch along during that game. It is to raise funds for the food bank. Rather than paying you £15 to watch that game, they're asking to pay the £15 towards the food bank as a donation. It's been brought about by Two Bulls, so a massive shout out to him. We're joining forces for this one, so yeah, anybody who is around, go ahead and tune into that one. Okay, right, I'm going to go because I've got a 6-year-old that's going to start smashing the place up in a minute. So
I've got some
thanks very much.
Over as well.
He's just turning the light on and off. You've seen that. Right, cheers, mate. See you later.
I know, Larry.
Ta-ra.